Hi, good day, everyone. Um, Welcome to yet another tutorial series, especially on that. So, I wanted to try out a complex uh, tool, form. A colleague of mine said. So, I was actually wondering how I was going to do this in Kobo. So, Kobo Collect is basically one form, and most likely for these sections, for each of these tables, I'll have to do like a group and maybe do some form of it. It will be pretty easy to do, but since a lot of times we're actually designing this as a database, each of these will have some type of header and or a column header, or uh, and each of these will present column. So it Um, for instance, for the section A, school status and school structure, the type of structure situation, we'll have number of structure available. We will then have PS, SPS, mic, UTC. Then for the second one, it will now be maybe number of class available dot PS, number of class available dot SPS, number of class available dot so on and so forth. So at the end of the day, we'll be having for only this particular table, we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'll have about so it will be 4, 8, 12, 16. So we'll have 16 different columns for this table alone, which constitute a lot of problems. So however, I intend to use ActivityInfo. I've never tried ActivityInfo with this kind of complex form, but I believe ActivityInfo will do it well because of subforms and reference form, which is pretty amazing by the way. And so I think it's going to do well. So hopefully we would be talking about this in a moment. So my colleague works for a particular um, government organization that do a lot of things that has to do with education. Um, so I am actually going to basically build the form from scratch and most likely capture almost everything. There's nothing sensitive here. There are no sensitive information here, and I think the only person that would know that this form was built, or that will recognize this form was built rather, is my colleague, and I think they'll be very happy. And so with issues like this kind of forms, we have um, it will be definitely 4 times 5, which is 20 different columns. So I'm going to be using like subforms and reference forms to actually build this. And so let me go to my activity. Oh, mind you, this is going to be a series for this particular tutorials series, hopefully, and I hope it's going to be great. And uh, just so you know, I have not practiced for this. I am I am I really have not practiced for this. I think I'm supposed to, but well, I will try it anyways. Um, I did mention in one of my uh, beginning series of, I think, the first tutorials I did, that this is meant to give or simulate a real life situation. Is not meant to make things look that easy. So I believe that's the goal, and I don't think I'm going to stop now. So I would log into my account. I did mention that this account is not free, and again, they give a 30 days trial window. I think I'm left with less than 5 days now. I think, not sure. So basically, I will just explain briefly what I think, or what activity info is, the workflow of activity info. Um, Hold on a little. Okay, um, so the activity info is a relational database, and the way it is structured, it's in a very structured manner. So you have your database that you name, and you have a folder where you can actually do a how is it called in library science, where you actually where you have like a cataloging, where you have different folders and you can put different things inside. So basically, the things you be putting inside are forms, and with our forms, we have subforms and reference forms that can be part of this form in a relationship that is a foreign key relationship. So one to many, and we have many to one. So a foreign key relationship, and it's a very very pretty interesting concept. Um, so I just felt the need to show this. So first of all, I'm going to create my database, and so the name of database will just school observation schedule. Very long, and I'll be doing a lot of copy and paste from the document, right? And so I'll create my database and name it that, because I'm lazy, and I'll make it blank. These are built-in database with its template. I want blank. I don't need that. So going to add. So for this particular purpose, I am thinking that I'm going to create a lot of reference table, and that has to do with all of this information here. Um, yeah, so I'll create a reference table called type of school structure situation, and so on. So I will just say reference. So this is where I'm going to add my reference tables. I will go into my folder, um, add the name of my reference form, which will just be this, and I'm just going to register all of these all of these line items that belongs to the type of school structure situation. So I'm too lazy. I'll just paste this. Maybe I'll come and edit this later, but so just gonna use a text. So this is the form name, and immediately I would have to start adding different fields. So the fields I'm just going to enter is just this, or maybe I'll name this instead school structure. Okay. That's the form name. And just gonna copy this out. I'll add a text, and I'll add a label, and I'll just say school structure for the code. And the reason why you need a code is anytime you actually want to make a reference to this particular field, just use this code instead. I don't want to make it unique. Do I want to make it required? I think yes, so I will enforce that you must fill it. I don't want to make it, I don't want to add any code of formula. I'll just click on done. I'll just click on save, and I am going to import. Again, I would have used add record and just add all of this number of structure available and so on, but I'm too lazy. I don't want to do that. um yeah, so what I'm just going to do is just cancel and click on import. That way I can go to this particular form and copy whatever value is there and just paste it here. Now I'm supposed to paste it with the the field name, which is in this case type of school, structure, situation. But I'm too lazy, I don't want to do that. So I'll just click on OK. It's finding it difficult um, to match. Oh, so I think I need a header. I'll just go back and I need like header. Maybe I'll just skip it. I'll just keep a space there and click on next. Oh, so it's still identifying the first one. So what I'm just going to do is just copy everything like this. Control C, go to um, upload you upload your data and just paste, and I think I'm good. And so it already recognized the field name, which is the type of school, structure, situation. And so remember that each of these is a field. So the type of school is supposed to be field, PS, SPS, MC, and BTS is a field. And ordinarily in Kobo Collect, this will be about 16 different fields. So it will be number of school, structure available, dots, maybe PS, so on and so forth. Then we'll go to the next and so on. They all be different fields, that is different columns in Kobo Collect. So we want to look for a way to manage it since we are having a relational database type tool like activity. So I'm just going to click on OK. And so it has already recognized and have entered some information. I'll click on done. That's uploaded. So I have my first reference. The second reference will be furniture. Again, all of this will just be this information here will just be reference. And so let me see, what do I name this? So I'm just going to name this furniture facility. And go back to my my reference form, my reference folder. I will click on add form. I'm going to paste it here, and I'll click on, that's the form name, add field, text. I'll say so it's going to be type of my field will just be type of furniture. I'll paste it here. I'll say furniture, and let me just make it expired. I'll just click on done, save. I'll go to import. Again, I'm just going to copy everything from here to space here. Copy. I'll just paste it here, and so ActivityInfo will detect that okay, the first row of data I have here, or the first value here, should be the field name. I can just say field. If I want, it's going to take the first value as the field name. I'll click on continue. Now, ActivityInfo is trying to figure out if it see types of furniture, it's going to, oh, this is the field. But now it isn't. It didn't find the first value matching the name of the field. How it found something, but it did not found. It didn't find the first value matching the name of this particular field called types of furniture. But in that case, we can assign. But let me just go back and show you. I'm just going to say Control Z, or just the Control V. I'll copy the initial data, and I'll just click on continue. Now you can see it's not showing me some kind of error because the type of furniture field matches the first value type of furniture field. But if I just say off, for instance, as the first value, it's going to have problem trying to match the first value to the name of the field. But in that case, I can just select it like this, and I'll say what this off means is actually type of furniture field, and you can see it has shown some form of green um, selection around the field, showing that everything is good to go. I'll click on continue, and you can see it has already showed that this is what it's going to add all of these entries to my field types of furniture. I'll click on done. And so I've actually imported that field. So I'm just going to start building the form, right? The main form itself for the survey. Now I said these are reference forms. I'm going to build the main form for the survey. So I'm going to go back to my database called school observation schedule. I'll add a folder called maybe main form or so, or just say survey, and I'm just going to go into the folder and add a form, and I'll say let me just copy this as the name of the form. So Control Z, Control C, Alt Tab, navigate to my activity info. Going to Control V, paste it. So the name of the main form is also the name of um, my database, and I'm just going to click add fields. Now the field I want to add is name of school, so on and so forth, and I'm too lazy. I'm just going to copy this. I am going to copy this. I think I should also create for LGA. Look, for LG and state, I think I'll create reference fields for it as well, but at least the name of school I can enter. I'm going to copy, go to my form, add text, and Control V. I'll just say school underscore name as the code. I'll say it is the required. I don't need to set any validation. I don't need to do anything. I'll just click on OK. Location, maybe year established. I don't know what location means, maybe address or so, but just going to come here, click on the plus icon, add, go to text, year. Okay, so I'm going to make this, okay, good. I'll make this a date field, right? And I just want the year. Let me see. Oh, there's no year field. There's only a date and a month field, and as well as a week. I think I'm just going to leave it as text instead. So, and I'll say uh, Control V. I'll say year underscore established, right? And make it required, and click on done. So what's next? I think I'll also add location. I don't know why that is important, because there's a geolocation, but I'm going to assume that it's important for something, and I'm just going to paste it, and the code will just be location. So this code is more or less like an alias. Instead of me to have to call the label, if I'm doing some form of calculation, I'll just call the code. I'll make this required, so it's a must that you must complete, and what else? So geolocation, I'll just copy this. Uh, yeah. So enter, add a new field to add geographic point. Is this? I'll just say GPS. Is it required? Maybe yes. And just click on done. What else? Yeah. And so I'm going to start adding sections, right? Before then, I'm going to add, yeah, I'm going to make the LGA, like I said. I'll create LG and state, and yeah, as references. and I'll make um, and I'll just add it to my form. I think that makes sense. So so now that we've done this, I will now start creating section, and I'll be doing reference to it. So I'll create a section A, for instance. So I could just do so. The first section A, school started. So I would then on plus sign, and section header, and I'll say started. Again, I'm just going to copy because I'm type, and I'm going to paste it here. The indentation will be one. I don't need to set any relevant. I'll click on. Then under the school status, I'm going to um, um, a reference table. I'm going to create a reference field, and I'm going to prepare this type of school structure situation. So I'm then going to reference, and my basically is going to open up all my database and its subfolders, and basically um, this is I use the word basically a lot. So this is the school observation schedule, which is where we are. We want to go to the reference folder and want to look for school structure, right? Because this is school structure, and we make sure we name our reference form based on the section title. So I'm just going to put this, and I just click continue. Now it usually will, so the lookup field, the use custom lookup is on. I really don't like it because by the time I click on the default value drop down, I'm going to be seeing like these are primary keys that are activity info auto generates for us, and we don't want that. So we want to actually see different things, and I just want to see the name that I entered in my type of school structure situation field, and then if I click on drop down, I can then see it. So I want to be able to select. Now I want to also be able to add a, I think, a validation, and I want to enforce no, okay, I wouldn't do that. I'm not going to. It made sense in my head. Don't worry about it. And so what I can then do is to enforce this is required. Somebody will select anytime they fill out something. Then I'm then going to add a sub form that is dependent on my reference form. So I'll create a sub form, and I'm just going to say um, my sub form will then be this will just be the title of my sub form, and just going to paste it here. I'll say maybe structure available avail, and I'm going to set a validation rule. Oh no, I think a relevance rule, if I remember correct. And I would say if my school structure, so it will be school structure is actually equal to is, I want to say contains, is actually this, and so show me this subform, and I'll click on done. Again, we are going to test it, right? Do I want to open subform now? Let me just open it. Okay, sorry. I think I'll click on, yeah, so I've clicked on done. So the subform, I still have to open the subform, and yeah, I'll click on done and see. Let me show you what that would. Um, so if I go to add records, I go to, so you can then see our, these are all required, right? I'm not going to touch anything here. Now, if I click on, my subform doesn't show until uh, I click on the drop down and select any of these. No, but I've made my subform dependent on the number of class available. If I click on number of additional classroom required, nothing is going to show. Now, if I click on number of class available, then my subform is supposed to show. The reason why my subform isn't showing is because I didn't add anything in my subform. So I will just um, cancel, go to form settings, continue my form edit. I will click on my subform that I created. I'll open the subform, add a field. Now, I'm just going to add this field. I'm not sure if this means number. Okay, these are numbers, right? So I will enter. I'm just going to copy all of these fields here. These are fields. I'll copy them, and because they are number of, I think they are quantity. So I would delete this and click on add field and click on quantity, and I'm just going to paste these fields. I'll just see PS. Is it required? Not necessarily. Unit. I think you can set a unit, but I don't want to do that. I'll click on OK. I'll click on plus sign. Click on quantity. Select the label. I'll set a code called SPS, and then I'm going to that paste the quantities. Say MC. I really don't know what they mean, but I want to assume that the person who built the template know what this means. But I'll say UTC, UTS. I don't need to fire because the option. I'll click on OK. Now it has saved, and I'll just click on plus. I'll click on subform. Now this time around, I'm going to name the second line item on my type of structure field. Again, I'm just going to copy all of these because I want to create and subforms or paste. I would cut to kind of lazy, right? So I do a lot of copy out. So we have number of classroom available. I'm just going to cut it. I would say uh, classroom maybe available, and I'm just going to click on done part. Sorry. Then I'll click on the subform. Said I need to save this form. Open this up. I'll click on done. Maybe I'll click on save. I will then go to form settings, click on subform, number of class available, and I'll also create the quantity. So I'll still repeat the same process of PS. Then PS, I'll say PS. I'll create I think let me just put it side by side to just make sense, right? So it's going to SPS. Click on OK. Quantity, I'll say MC. That'll be MC. On OK. Then the last one will just be BTS, which is TS. And I'll just click on done here and save. Now I just wanted to show you a trick. Now I think I forgot to set a rule for this, so I'll go to relevance. I'll click on relevance. So it's relevant when what happens? School structure is equal. Let me just paste it back because the school structure is equal to this number of school available. So if I select school structure equal to number of school available, then this subform should pop up. Otherwise, don't do anything. Sorry about that. I copied it before. I don't want to feel about it. So I'll click on save, and then I've created. So I'm supposed to create subforms for number of structure available, number of class available, number of additional structure available, and last one here. I'll create different subforms. Now, if I go to add records, and let me just go to structure now. If I click on additional structure, nothing shows. But if I click on additional structure, um, no. So if I click on, so I did number of, okay, number of classroom available, number of structure available, which is those are the ones I created subform for. So if I click on any of these two, nothing is going to pop up. But if I click on number of class available, classroom available, oh wow, it is supposed to show me that, but it's not showing me. I wonder why. What of structure available? Nothing. Okay, so I think I must have made a mistake somewhere. But let me just go back. I'll click on cancel, go to form settings, and so why is it not working? Is there anything that I did that's wrong? About structure available. Did I do anything? To be relevant, right? Yeah. Again, I can just type this out. Number of structure. I would say I need to check. I think I did something that was okay. So I'm going to go to my. I'm going to say I'll go to my reference form, and I am going to correct. I'm going to correct. Let me just go and correct for the sake of this session, so I don't make lots of mistakes. Again, I'll just type it in full, just so I don't make mistakes. Number of classroom. I'll click OK. I'll click on save. I'll go back to so my network is a bit slow, which is why it's taking time to save. I'll go back to patient, go to reference, go to school structure. I think I should see some data. Aha, so I'm just going to each and every one of them, and I just edit. Now I think there are spaces when I pasted again. I'm not sure. I'll just say number of, and I just want to make sure everything's fine at this end, so I don't have to. I'll click on OK. Um, or what else? Uh, so I'm going. I'll correct everything just so that I am sure the mistake is not from here. Oh, oh, I can that some. I'll save and just to make sure that everything's cool from this end. See number of additional structure. Make sure there are no spaces. Oh, I think I'm supposed to name them by the codes, but I'll check and see if or I can actually do a formula. I think yeah, I think I should do formula instead. It's really taking time so much for network. Yeah. Do you think network is okay? Apparently my network got disconnected. My router is connected. So just want to yeah, okay. So I think that for the relevance, I'm going to use formula and it will just make sense. I'm more comfortable with formula than um yeah. So I'll go back to the database, go to survey, go to observation, form settings. I would go to these subforms. I think I should use formula. I think I should use formula. So what we're looking at is school structure. Yeah, so I'll use formula and I'll say um yeah, so you think so it's the formula it's supposed to work. This is supposed to be this. Why is it not working? This will get right. Anyways, let me go back and just so that I am sure I'll say if school structure is school structure and type um again what I'll just use it. I'll click on OK thing and then see. Otherwise I'm thinking about you set. You think it's gonna show? I did this before. I was wondering what I oh wow. I would say so I would find out what issue and I really not validation. So really in I don't know why. See of number of structure and that might number of see and how add see there's an error in the session. But showing it's not so didn't supposed to. I don't want that. So I want it to end it. So I think there's something I'm seeing to set really full structure. That's it. Let me try number of structure by level. Click on OK. See if again I'm testing it out to see and let me do this. Then I am I'm now frustrated. I think I entered this somewhere around change to testing oh, some some forgotten quick T. Okay, so what's happened? Oh, it said I'm off. I'll just add. So I click on sector. Yeah. So this is what I do, right. So this is fertilizer. So what did I do wrong? So just going to form and so you see when I selected some one of single select it was supposed to show me um um like the subform for it and that's what I put in curiosity what I interesting to see. So this is my subform. Yeah, so it's the same thing. Is choose sector, so product sector, so exactly know what's wrong. So maybe it's because the choose sector is a reference from, but you think it should work, right? Oh, I think I was looking at the wrong. Oh, I I was looking at the wrong thing. So this is what I was supposed to type of. Hmm, I would say number of structure available. I'll click on done. This same thing for this. I'm assuming that this is supposed to be, I'll say number of classroom. Yeah, I think that was the issue. I will add the form and number of classroom. Oh yeah, so interesting stuff. So if I click on number of structure available, same thing, and the structure will just come up. Just enter the value. So and then I think I'll just click on cancel, go back to the form. So I'm going to add another sub form. I would say I'm going to paste the rest of this. I'm lazy. I would say number of, and I'll just say structure required, structure, structure required, uh, and I'll say relevant. I think I'm supposed to save the form. Yeah, so I'll save. I'll I'll just duplicate this, right? So I'll just look at it and yeah, suppose I think for sub form, so I'll set relevant row. I'll say school is number of additional number of addition additional required structure by and applicant. Okay, I would add my again. I'll just add the last one, so I'm done with copy and paste subform. Just paste the last one to number of. Then I'm copy this. I'll say classroom required as a code name, and I'm done. Go to set school structure, this, I'll click OK. Then I can then just this aside, go to PSSP, come here, open the subform. I'll just say, yeah, add, I would say quantity, I'll say PS, I don't have to required, I will just do this SPS, I would say SPS. Mind you, I cannot say the code is PS here. It's going to return um, um, a prompt. If I say click done, it's going to return a code is already exists. So, in as much as they belong to the same form or subform, you cannot enter the same code. Um, oh, I just clicked on sub. Again, I'll just duplicate this. I'll add another bit again. Oh, so the name has changed. I'll say MC. I would say MC. Click on done. I would duplicate. I would say U, UTS. Change it. TS on save. I'll go to the next subform and basically the same thing. So I'll say quantity TS. Yes, I would duplicate, I would say SPS, the SPS, going to duplicate again, I would say MC, or duplicate last one, TT. Same fields, the same data type. I don't need to create that event again. So just click on save and I'm good. Save. Now the magic is by the time I go to my add record to this, select any, it's form subform related is, although all the fields are the same thing, right? So but this is pretty interesting to do. So let's assume that I enter a school name. I'll just say my school name is the name of my school, of this school name. A year established, let's say 1972. Location, I know this is supposed to be something. Let's just say Asia. And I'm going to enter my latitude, and I'll say minus 8.9. Oh, so it's minus. And for my number batch, maybe I'll just enter this. I'll go to it and just start entering C45 and just adding random and click on done. So click on and click on save. You can then see my records, right? So I have for job number of classroom available, regardless of the rest of the fields that I created a subfield for. And instead of me to have 16, I only have 4. As I mentioned earlier, for Kobo Collect, you have like 16 field. I just have 4. But when I go to the records of this, I can then see the fields related to the parent. So this is the parent. This is the parent, and so you have like a parent-child relationship, or a one to many type of relationship, or a foreign key. So the number of class is a primary key to this particular table, which is a foreign key. And which is one of the reasons why I like um I like I kind of like ActivityInfo for it, because of the parent-child relationship. It makes a whole lot of sense. Anyways, I will stop here. So I'm going to apply this same thing. Oh, so this is the key. The keys. The PS is permanent structure, semi-permanent, semi-permanent structure, mobile, collapsible, under tree shade, functional. Oh, that's interesting. Anyways, that is what it is. For the section B, I'll just create a section. In the next session, I don't want this to be too long. And yep, go to my form settings if I want to continue editing. So this is my first session. um, I'll just click on add. I'll click on session header. I'll also leave the intent one. I'll just copy furniture facility as my session, paste it here. Oh, I didn't really copy it right. I'll just say Control C, Control V, and done. And I can then start filling in what I need to fill of these. So I'm going to create, I think I've already created this, and so I'll create a field called click on plus a field called it's a type of structure. Yeah, no, it will be you think it should be this, right? Or maybe I'll just say furniture situation, which is this. I'm gonna paste it here. I would say furniture situation. Oh, this is supposed to be a reference field, right? I just say click reference field, reference folder, furniture facility. I'll continue. I'll name. I'll just see um, type of furniture, furniture, and I'll just say furniture type. And I'm going to uncheck this. This just makes more sense. Click on OK. Now then set at subforms that I would create these interesting other fields, and I'll create 5 subforms for it. Oh, I think also checking the documentation in terms of limits, subforms you can create and so on. It has, I think, 30 subforms per form. Let me see. I think there's limits. Where is it? I think there's a place. Yeah, let me just type it under documentation. Documentation is a very interesting tool to use. It Yeah, so database and form limits. It I'll see the type of kind of limit I can only create. Yeah, maximum of 30 subforms per form. So I would need to look for a way to deal with this. So I've created 4 subforms, 5 making 9. Um, let me see how many I'll create another 5 making um, um, I think I was supposed to create subforms and that's interesting. So this would be 5, 9, this would be 14, this would be 18, this would be 21, and this is 28, this is 31. So I have to look for a way to manage this, and I'm thinking of managing it. Oh, that would be interesting to do. So I'm thinking of creating um so I might decide to create each of these section as a subform. So I will just have we have section D, E, F, uh okay, F, and we have this section I, that will be O. So we have J, K, and what else? So K should be J. I think J is 10, right? A B C D F G H I J 10. K L M I J K. So that's 11. So instead of me having exhausting the subforms, um I'll create 11 subforms, and let me see its limitation. Maximum number of subform in a form, number of records. I'll look for a way to actually manage this. It's very interesting to do. But I think it's something I will think about it and see what's the best way to actually manage instead of having this subform here, subform here, subform, and so on. I might create a reference table instead to manage certain things, but it will be very interesting to do. So I might create a reference table here, just like we did here, in such a way that so let me just click on OK, go to add records. And so this is a reference table. All I just need to do is just to click on here, and it will take me here, and I'll create subforms for it here. That makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. I have to look for a way to do it so I don't exhaust the subforms in our form. Yeah. Anyways, in next session, hopefully I'll look for a way to better manage this. But it will be interesting to implement completely and manage it very well in such a way that I don't exhaust the limit of what activity is of. You guys can try it on your own. You can open a free account. It's 30 days trial. It's very interesting. Have a wonderful day. Hopefully, see you in the next session.